Welcome back. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken is on a 3-day tour of the Middle East, pushing for an Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal. He'll meet with the King of Jordan in Amman later today. This is NBC News is reporting that Biden officials have discussed potentially negotiating a unilateral deal with Hamas to secure the release of 5 Americans still being held hostage in Gaza if current ceasefire talks involving Israel fail. These negotiations would, quote, not include Israel and would be conducted through Qatar. Joining me now is Kentucky Congressman Andy Barr, member of the House Select Committee on China, Financial Services Committee, and Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. What is your take on the White House considering going around Israel and negotiating with Hamas directly for a ceasefire?
Well, good to see you, too, Maria. Look, the White House's answer to everything with respect to the Israel-Gaza conflict is to blame Israel. It's to pressure Israel. It's to suggest that Israel is at fault, to muse about whether or not Israel has violated international law, instead of actually backing Israel, coordinating with Israel. And look, no ceasefire will work, and no ceasefire should be negotiated unless the strategic objective is accomplished, and that is to degrade Hamas to the point where it can never carry out October 7th ever again. That is the objective, in addition to releasing or recovering all of the hostages.
Yeah, I just spoke with Jack Keane about this. The 4-star general made a really important point in basically saying this constant interfering in Israel's retaliatory plans here after it was attacked unprovoked is empowering Hamas.
Absolutely. Weakness invites aggression. And if you look at October 7th in the historical context, why did it happen? Because this administration pursued sanctions relief, tried to chase another Iran nuclear deal, took the sanctions off of Iran's oil industry, and that enabled the mullahs to finance Hamas, Hezbollah. So, look, maximum pressure is what needs to happen here. Stopping this crazy idea of withholding arms from our key ally. Congress, in a bipartisan way, authorized the delivery of this security assistance, the weapons to Israel, so that they can carry out what needs to happen, which is the complete and total destruction of Hamas, the demilitarization and the de-radicalization of Gaza. And I do find it very ironic that Secretary Blinken, the Biden administration, they somehow make this distinction between Gaza City and Rafah. The truth is there's 4 battalions of hardened terrorists in Rafah right now. And now the United States, under the Biden administration, withholding security assistance, withholding arms to the Israeli Defense Forces to finish the job. The only thing that's different about the north of Gaza and Rafah is that the domestic political situation in the United States has changed. And now the Biden administration has a problem with their extreme far left base. And so I think the Biden administration thinks that they need to go around our ally Israel to negotiate a separate deal with the terrorists.
So it's all about politics once again, Congressman. It's all about politics all the time. And then there's China. The vice foreign minister is claiming that the biggest security challenge in the South China Sea is coming from the outside of the region, and that U.S. military deployment in the area is, quote, inciting and intensifying maritime disputes and contradictions. He also claims that the U.S. is dragging the region into the, quote, whirlpool of an arms race, Congressman. You traveled to Taipei last month to meet with the president of Taiwan, President Lai. Your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, in the South China Sea, I also traveled to the Philippines back in August. We have a mutual defense treaty with the Philippines, and the United States is not provoking aggression in the South China Sea. It's China. China is militarizing reefs and submerged islands in the South China Sea. They're asserting their territorial title over reefs and islands, submerged islands within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. They're trying to basically annex Filipino territory. So the United States is just fulfilling its treaty obligations with the U.S. Navy to protect the territorial waters of the Philippines, our ally in Southeast Asia. And it's very clear what is going on. It doesn't take much, and I went to see what China is doing in the South China Sea. They are trying to militarize these reefs, these islands, build up artificial islands. They're building runways. They're putting military fighter jets on them, satellite communications, anti-aircraft. They're trying to create a difficulty for the United States trying to resupply Taiwan in the event of an invasion.
And, you know, we don't know where this is going, but this is dangerous conversations underway right now for that very reason. Congressman, I got to get your take on this video that has basically been some explosive new video with Nancy Pelosi on the video saying that she takes responsibility for the National Guard not being in place on January 6th. You've seen the video. Your thoughts?
Well, Congressman Barry Loudermilk has done a great job leading the true investigation into what happened leading up to January 6th and the fact that the intelligence services did provide advanced information to the Speaker's office about the problem and that there would be a need for additional security in addition to the Capitol Hill Police. And the fact that the Speaker's office had that information and did not act and thwarted the effort to provide additional security to the Capitol. They could have dispatched the National Guard to assist. They knew that there was going to be trouble, and they did nothing because they didn't want the look of that. I think that is an indictment of the Speaker's handling of the events in the run-up to January 6th.
Well, President Trump has said that the January 6th group illegally deleted and destroyed material evidence, Congressman. I mean, you know, first we hear that they deleted evidence. Now we hear that she's taking responsibility. What are we supposed to think with all of those people from January 6th still in jail?
Well, you see that the investigation that Speaker Pelosi put together in the last Congress was a total fraud. They selectively released information. Information that was material to actually what happened was withheld. And so now we're actually getting to the bottom of what happened at January 6th. It was a tragic day, but it could have been prevented if the Speaker's office had actually done what it needed to do and notified the National Guard, call up the National Guard to assist the Capitol Hill Police.
I'd like to see some movement with these people getting out of jail. It's just wrong that all these people have been locked up.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
now, with all of this new information, this is just wrong.
Absolutely, Maria.
Congressman, thank you. We'll be watching it, and certainly we'll keep a spotlight on it. Andy Barr joining us this morning.